Greetings and welcome to Education and More's Learn Python 3 Programming at a Snail's Pace. My name is Marcus Gardner and I'll be the instructor for this course. In today's video, we're going to learn about lists, adding and removing items, plus sort and in. Now I do apologize, this will be a very long video, but we really need to put all these things together and you'll see why later. Again, as I have mentioned a couple times, lists are very important. This video is extremely important because it tells you how to get started with lists. Okay? Because when you have a list, you create them, but many times you don't know what the items are. So you need to be able to add items. Okay? And of course, when you get done with the items, you might want to remove them. Okay? All right. So let's get started. Okay, first off we have our concatenation. Just like with strings, remember we could concatenate two strings, okay? But of course we had to put that into another string, or we could reuse a string, okay? All right, so again, here's an example of a list. Boys is equal to Tom, Mark, and Ken. Girls is equal to Julie and Amy. So then all, maybe the variable all, which would equal boys plus girls, will give you this output. All right, so let's see that in action. All right. I've already got lesson 18.py already created for us. So again, boys, I will just choose something else. It doesn't matter. Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's a very famous list of boys that I've heard before. And girls is equal to Mary and Sam. Of course, Sam could be a boy's or a girl's name. It doesn't matter. And then we'll do all. And then we'll do boys plus girls. Okay. And then we'll do print all. All right. So let's see what we get here. Open command, Python lesson 18.py. And there we go. We get the 3 boys' names and the 2 girls' names. Notice all it does is put at the end. Okay? It doesn't sort it or anything else like that, which is why we have our own sort routine. Okay? All right, let's continue. Append. Now this one will get you some students confused, okay? But anyway, let's go over it. So let's say we have a list A, and it has A and B in it. And then we append C. So when we print A, we're going to get A, B, and C. Okay, now that part's straightforward, but that's not all append can do. Now let me just take a moment here. Notice I use double quotes. Again, it could be double quotes or single quotes. But when you print something, it'll always show single quotes. But it's awfully hard for me to type single quotes, okay? I find it much easier to type double quotes. I know I need a shift to put the double quotes, but it's just so easy. I just prefer the double quotes. So most of the time, my outputs, I will show the double quotes. But just know that the output will actually show single quotes. It's not important, okay? Just don't worry about the output, whether it shows double quotes or single quotes. Okay? All right. So that is one way to use append. You're appending some item that you want to go into a list. But you can also append in another list. Now this is where many students get confused. Okay? So if I have B equals to another AB, they would think that when I get finished with A, it would have A, B, C, A, B, just like adding another C. But that's not exactly what happens, okay? What happens is that you get to A, B, C, and then the list A, B, okay? So let's see that for ourselves. All right, so now let's just redo it because, oh, never mind. I didn't change boys, so I can do the same thing. Okay, so let's do it this way. Boys.append. And now let's add in Jerry, Tom and Jerry. I'm sure you all know that cartoon. Okay, so we'll print boys. Now that one will have Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jerry. Okay, now let's do boys.append girls. Now, as I said from this screen, is that it will now have the list girls in it. Okay? All right. So, let's see if that worked. Okay. So, there's the Jerry I added, and I forgot to print boys again. Yes, it did something, but it can't actually see what it did if you don't print it. All right? I got distracted when I was showing the screen. There we go. See, there's our list, Mary, Sam. Okay? All right. Now, this appending a list is very, very common. Okay? As well as appending an item. So those two things you make sure you understand how to do. Okay? All right. Good. Extend. Now, extend works how you would think append would work. Here, A is a list, B is a list. If you extend B, you're going to get a list A, B, A, B. Okay? So let's show that. Oh, we're not ready. I actually got to type something here. All right. So let's go back. My boys has changed, so let's put it back to the original. And now let's do boys.extend girls. And this time print boys. Okay? So this time it will have the 3 names plus it will have the 2 girls' names. There we go. Okay? So that's what extend does. Extend does what you would normally think append would do. Okay? All right. Next, we're going to learn about pop. Now, when I first took my first programming class, well, actually my third, we didn't have pop in basic. Well, anyway, back when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth, we learned about it using plates. Okay. I'm sure you probably eaten at a, what's that called? An all-you-can-eat buffet. And they have a stack of plates, sometimes like that, but usually inside a container. You push on the top and it bounces. Okay? So with pop, it's you get the item that was last put in the list. Okay? So let's assume that these plates are lists, is a list. This bottom plate was the very first item you put into the list. This top plate was the last. So if you're going to pop it, in other words, get the item at the top, you are getting the last item that was put into a list. Now, another thing with pop, let's say you are a child. Sometimes you may not get the top item. You may say, I want this plate instead. Oh, look, this plate has a blue color. I want that plate. Okay? So then you could say plate 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. and say, oh, this is plate 12 or 13, whatever it is. I'm not going to count. And say pop 12 or pop 13, whatever. Okay, and get that plate. All right? So that's what pop does. Now, just like with plates, when you grab the plate, you are holding a plate. So you have that plate. So this does 2 things. One, it will get rid of the third item. Which one's the third item? This is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will get rid of this Kevin. Notice there's 2 Kevins. That's okay. It will get rid of this Kevin, but it will also store it into this variable. Now, you do not have to assign it. So in that case, pop it, whoop, let it fall on the floor, break. We don't care about it. But most of the time, when you use pop, you're going to want to know the variable. Okay? Now, if you don't care what the variable is, there's something else you can use besides pop. We'll get to that in a minute. All right? So here, if you print names now, you're going to get John, Kevin, Mark. You're going to skip this one and get Larry. And if you print the name, you're going to get Kevin. So let's try that on our own. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so boys have all of that. So now we're going to do goodbye equals boys dot pop, and let's get rid of 2. Okay, now 0, 1, 2, so that's going to be Harry. It's going to get rid of Harry. So print boys and print goodbye. Goodbye. There we go. Tom, Dick, Harry, okay, Sam, and, oh, there, I said Harry. I meant Mary and Sam. So we got rid of the Harry. Okay? So perfect. All right. So that's what pop does. Now, Dele is like pop, except you're getting rid of it. Just like I said, the plate falls on the ground. Okay? So we don't know which one we deleted. Okay? Here, we could print the one we deleted. But here we can't. It's gone. You only use this if you don't care any more about it. Okay? If you care, you use pop. If you don't care, you can use pop or Dele. Okay? All right. So here we have names, and in delete names or Dele names 3, we'll get rid of this Kevin. Okay? So you still have this Kevin, and then Mark, and then we don't have this, and we have Larry. All right. So let's do it ourselves. Okay. So delete boys bracket 2. Print boys. All right. And there we go. Here is boys 0, 1, 2. So we got rid of the Mary. Okay. But again, I don't know which one I got rid of. We deleted it. We said, bye-bye. We don't care about you. So there's no way for me to know which one I got rid of. Okay, if you use Dele, that's the penalty. All right, now, another thing about Dele versus pop. Notice pop has the parentheses. Dele has a bracket. Do you remember anything else that used brackets? Do you? Do you? Do you? Okay, well, let's go back and redo these 3 lines here. And let's print all, which of course is going to be give me Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Sam. And now let's do Dele all 1 bracket 5. Okay, so we've seen this before with strings, so we can do the same thing with lists. So Tom is 0, Dick is 1, Harry is 2, Mary is 3, Sam is 4. So this will not give me an error. So what will this get rid of? This is going to get rid of everything except Tom. If I put 4 here, it's not going to get rid of Sam Because remember, this will not include the last element. So let's show that. And let's go ahead and redo this again. And put 5 here. Okay? Remember, when using this colon operator, we're allowed to go outside of the item here. Okay? But let's do it again and try that. Okay? All right. Let's run it. Okay, so we cannot delete 5. Just like with string, we cannot access past the boundary. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right. So let's go back here. Print goodbye. Okay, so print all. Okay, delete 1 through 4. Oh, I forgot to print all. Okay. There we go. Delete 1 to 5. I forgot to print all. Okay. All right. And why did I do that one? Oh, okay. That's because of that. All right. Let's try it again. Okay. So, Tom and Sam. That is the 1:4 because this is 0, 1. It got rid of this one. 2, it got rid of this one. 3, it got rid of this one. 4, it did not reach. So that's why Sam is still there. Okay? All right. So then I did another print all to show me what was there. I did a delete all 1 to 5. Well, 5 is past Sam. So it's going to get rid of the Sam also. So that's why we only have Tom left. Okay? And then this one, we printed all the boys and girls again. And then we tried to delete the 5th item, but there is no 5th item. So it gave us an error. Okay? So this works well on a list as well as strings. Okay? Okay, good. Remove. Now sometimes you may not know what position, and this honestly is most of the time. Okay? You want to find something, but you don't know what position it's in. So you can give it the name you're looking for. Okay? Now what this will do is it will remove the very first item. Now of course you could put it in a loop. Alright? And it will keep going until there's no more. Alright. Now, there's a small problem with this. Alright, let me show you what the problem is. But first, let me show you how this works. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Alright. So now we have all there. Now we can do all dot remove, and let's remove Tom. Okay, I don't like Tom. Okay, let's go ahead and give that a try. And Tom is bye-bye. Okay? All right. Now, the problem is this. Let's say I try to remove Tom again. Error. X not in list. Okay? So, remove causes a problem just like Dele does. Dele has a problem if you choose something past the end. Now, Dele is very easy to fix. You can make sure that this variable is less than the length. You can use length on len on your list. Okay. I should have made len part of this, but that's okay. You can use len to make sure that this number, okay, if you're going to do it by itself, okay, is less than the length of your list. But you really can't double check it before we start with this. So we have something else you can use. It's called the in operator. So if Kevin is in names, then we remove it. Okay? So let's show you how that works. Here, if Tom in all, colon, all remove, else print Tom is not in the list anymore. Okay, you punished him already. You've already got rid of him. You can't get rid of him again. All right. Tom is not in the list anymore. Okay? So, in is going to be extremely helpful. Okay, I've used it many, many times. Okay, because like I said, many times you're going to know the name or the item that you want, but you may not know the position. So you need to use the remove. Okay, and in order to use the remove, you need to put in the in. Okay, now you can do it that way, or you can use the try except. Now I prefer this method, but you can use the try except. You can do try and then names dot remove Kevin except, oh, Kevin not in the loop. Okay, both ways okay. I just prefer this method, and I think most programmers do too. I mean, that's the reason why you have the in, or one of the reasons why. Okay, all right. So there we go. And then finally we have sort. So if these are the names, you run sort, you print it. Okay, so let's just show that. That's an easy thing to show. All right, so I have my list. So let's go ahead and print it again. Print all dot sort, print all. Okay. Oh, it was already sorted. Oh, hey, that didn't do very well. All right, so how about this? Let's do this one. There we go. Try running it again. Okay, so we have Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Sam. And then in alphabetical order, we have Dick, Harry, Mary, Sam, Tom. Okay? Okay. So that takes care of it. Now what we want to do is a little bit of homework. I had a lot of trouble getting the homework file onto the website. So instead I gave you a link. So I put the file on the website another way and had to give a link. Let me show you what that homework file looks like. Here it is. It's called countries.txt. So what you'll need to do is actually save that. Let me actually show you. Let's see here. So this is what it looks like on when you click on the link I give you. It's going to look like this. Okay? Now if you want to download that, what you do, if you're on Firefox, okay, you come over here. You can save page as, and then I chose countries.txt. Okay? So that's the way you do that. Okay? All right. Then, that's fine. All right. So anyway, what we have here is a list of every country and the languages that are spoken in that country. Okay? What I want you to do is to create a list of lists. So, for example, the list will start with Afghanistan, and then a bracket, and then a list of all these languages. Close list, comma, Albania, open list, okay, close list. And I also want you to get rid of this. I want you to get rid of everything inside of, including the parentheses. Okay? Now let me go ahead and give you a little hint on getting started. Okay? Alright, so let me go ahead and call this 18B. Nah, it's okay, I can do it here. Alright. So let's see here. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask a person for the name and the gender. Okay? And I want to create a list of all the names. Okay? So I'm going to say list equals that. It's an empty list. Now I can start adding things in it. Okay? All right. While name does not equal to quit. Okay? Now I'm not going to do all the checking. You can do that yourself. Okay? Name equals input, enter name. Okay? And gender equals input, enter gender. Okay? And then what I want to do is create a list. Okay. So I'm going to say item is equal to blank name, comma, gender. And then, now which one do I do? Do I do append or extend? Okay. So now I have list dot append item. Okay. But only if name does not equal to quit. Then do those two items. Okay. All right. Now we can print list. All right. Let's see if we made any mistakes here. Whoops. I forgot the colon. All right, there we go. Name is not defined. Did I? Empty. Okay. There we go. That way we just enter it one time. That's better. Okay. Try again. Enter name. Marcus. Gender. Male. Enter name. Lisa. Gender. Female. Enter name. Quit. And I didn't check it, but anyway, none. There we go. And there's my list. Okay? My list of lists. Like I said, I didn't do any checking or anything. That's up to you. So, but your difference is that you're going to be reading from a file. You already know how to read from a file. Okay? I've already told you that, taught you that. If you forgot, go back and look at that lesson. Okay? It's very important you know how to read from a file. So you're just going to do this. You're going to create a list, and then you are going to add some entries to that list. When you get done, you print it. But you're going to have to use the find command to get rid of this. And you might want to get rid of the space before it. Okay, put the comma right after it. Okay. Now, to make it even more challenging, these are not always commas. Okay, this is a terrible list, but sometimes big data is terrible, and that's the reason why you have to look at the data first to make sure that you can parse it well. Let's see if I can find the example here. Oh, let's see. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, so let's use this find in page. And I am going to put a semicolon, and there it is. See, some of the times it's a semicolon instead of a comma. Okay? All right. And then next. Let's see. I need to scroll the screen up so I can see it. Next. And there it is there. So it does occur often. So you got to get rid of that semicolon and make it a comma instead. So it's just extra work for you. Consider this a small project. Okay? Putting everything you've learned, reading files, finding inside of strings, and then making a list. Okay? Now, in the future, I am going to want you to get your own data unless I purposely make my own special data. So, the other homework assignment I have for you is to do state and state abbreviations. And then, let me go ahead and bring up the homework. Let's see here. Oh, I don't have it there. Oh well. Sorry, I don't have it ready. But anyway, it's already on the website. The other homework is to get the list of states and state abbreviations. And then you give it the state abbreviation. It tells you the state. Okay? And don't forget, if somebody types in XY. Okay? Make sure it's error proof. Okay? So you should be able to get that data yourself. No, I don't mean typing it in. Okay, no. There's way too much stuff on the internet. So let me show you how to do that. Okay. So you would go to Google or any other place you like. I like Google because then I could do something like this. List of states. I don't mean capitals, I mean abbreviations, but this is fine too. You can do another program where you have a list of states in capitals. Okay? File type is XLS. In other words, I want Excel spreadsheets. Now I could have put CVS or whatever, comma delimited. Anyway, so these file types, okay, this is one of the reasons I love Google, is because maybe I want a Word document. I can put .doc or .docx, whatever, okay? And then when I do that list, I'm going to get something like this. And this one is perfect. Alabama, AL, Alaska, AK, Arizona, AZ. Okay? So what you do is you just right click on it or just click on it. Okay? And then it's going to ask to save it. Okay? So you can either save the file or open it. Let's try opening it. Okay? And there you see the state codes. Now you might want to get rid of this first line, or you can just ignore the first line in your code, even better. Now what you can do here, okay. So then I want to file, save as, and then I want to put it in the exact same place that is my programming. Whoops, sorry, wrong one. E, programming. Okay. And just so you can see, it's okay. So we're just going to put the states. But we're going to save it as a CSV. There it is. I've already done it. States and capitals. But let's just call it the states. Okay? So now I have the states.csv. Okay? And it is inside of this directory. States, the states.csv. So now I can open it, read the file, and do what I need to do with it. Okay? So, from now on, most of the time, I will ask you to get your own data because it's taken me forever to try to get it into WordPress. WordPress text files are terrible because when you download stuff from the internet, it has sometimes it has junky characters in it. And you can't see the junky characters, but it's there. And WordPress just has a problem with it. It won't let you upload the .txt file. I've tried all the extensions. It just doesn't work. So I'm giving up. So anyway, it's important that you know how to do this. There is going to be lots of wonderful data we can use on the internet. Okay? And I will need you to be able to get that data. Okay? It just takes a few clicks for you to download the page, save it into whatever format you want, usually a CSV or a text file or whatever. And then we can, quote, scrape the information we need and do what we need to do with it. Okay? All right. So that is pretty much it. So you can actually see the homework and class information here. Here is the countries. I actually have this on this page here, but so you can actually see it here. I put it into the homework directory on my website called countries.txt. Okay? It is a lot of work, but you can go at your own pace. Okay? You can take a day, you can take a week, you can take 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you chug along and you understand how to be able to incorporate everything you've learned. If you've forgotten how to open a file, then you've probably gone too fast or only done the minimal amount of work. You need to be able to do many repetitions until you know how to open a file, how to read the file, how to get rid of the extra spaces at the end. Okay? This needs to be something that's automatic. You shouldn't be something thinking, oh, how do I do that? How do I do that? Okay? The how do you do that? How do you do that is for logic questions. You know, I got this puzzle. How do I solve that? It shouldn't be for how do I read something from a file. Okay? If you're having that trouble, then you've gone too fast. You need to go back and redo some of the problems. Okay? Or create your own problems and redo some of them. Add files into it. Okay? All right. And don't forget, you can also ask the user for the name of the file. Double check to make sure it exists. So make sure you use those try excepts. Don't allow any errors in the code. And have fun. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.